How about that Josh Heupel extension? What'd you make of that?
It's tough, man, because I really do respect the job that he's done for the past 2 years. But part of me, and I'm a girthy man. A big portion of my mass believes that Josh Heupel kind of stumbled into Hendon Hooker. And I think that because of this, right? I really don't want Tennessee fans like all over my back because I do have a lot of respect for that program. But Scott Frost had UCF doing something. Josh Heupel came in, guys. It was trending down. He took that over, and
Josh Heupel born on third base at UCF.
Yeah, at UCF, it trended down. Now he got the Tennessee job, and he turned it around. But did he turn it around because? Did he turn it around because he evaluated and he, acquired, or did he turn it around just kind of because some things kind of, fell in his lap? And I don't know that answer. I believe in his scheme. I really do. I believe that year after year, I don't care who you are, year after year, everybody tries and thinks maybe, okay, you're going to figure this thing out, and you don't, because they're going to split those receivers out outside the numbers, and they're going to set you up in hey, are you declaring? Are you covering? Or are you playing the run? There's none of this like nickel blitz against Tennessee. I mean, they really kind of take that out of the picture. But is Jalen Hyde on the roster? Is Cedric Tillman on the roster? Is Hendon Hooker on the roster? Are they going to be as good on the offensive line? They haven't recruited as good as they did when they had, when they had Darnell Wright and those guys. So I'm interested to see, because it's going to go one way or the other. Either Tennessee's about to be a problem, or Tennessee is a paper tiger. And I really believe that, and I lean towards the latter. I think Tennessee is a paper tiger. And I think, I'm one of the ones that, when Georgia's schedule came out, that I felt, hey, Tennessee is going to be really tough to deal with in Knoxville. And then I saw Georgia deal with Tennessee that had zero chance. Not one. Georgia gave them a gift on the first drive of the game and still just beat the piss out of them. Like over.
So I'm looking at On3's transfer portal tracker right now, and it's a great resource if y'all haven't checked it out. You can toggle teams on this portal tracker and see, where guys are going by school. And I'm looking right now, and I thought, look, if Tennessee hasn't recruited that well, how are they doing in the portal? And you can look and see the teams that have gone, or the players that have gone to Tennessee through the portal. And as of right now, it looks like they have one receiver that they've picked up through the portal, Dante Thornton, out of Oregon. And I'm scrolling. There's a tight end, McCallan Castles, which sounds like a golf course in Scotland.
It sounds like a scotch.
Yeah, it does. Take a sip of that. So, yeah, I mean, to your point, if you want to be a sustainable threat to Georgia in the East, and I wrote about this today, kind of piggybacking off of a USA Today column mentioning how big of a threat LSU is to Bama. LSU and Bama are going to go toe-to-toe for the foreseeable future as long as Saban stays around and Bama is what it is. Bama's not going anywhere. I'm going to get to that in chopping wood. But for years, you had Auburn and Alabama beating each other up, but Bama just being elite. You had LSU and Bama kind of trading blows. Sometimes LSU would get the upper hand, and sometimes Auburn would get the upper hand. But who was going to rise up in the East before these divisions get expansioned out and turned into whatever they are? I mean, Tennessee may never have another chance to be that team, to be the LSU to Georgia's Alabama, if that makes sense. So I just don't know how Tennessee can stack it up if they're not bringing it in the portal, if they're not recruiting like it, and if their offense is such a one-trick pony that Kirby Smart's defense just snuffs it out every time.
One-trick pony, I think, is a little harsh, but Georgia has,
how about a one-trick pony in the context of facing Georgia's defense? They can make you a one-trick pony.
Right. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Georgia's if Tennessee's offense is a bacteria, if it's strep, Georgia's doxycycline. I mean, because Georgia can just go man on man, play both sides of the block, and keep you from gashing them in the run game with base personnel. But that's not really the story here. The story here is the fact that Georgia, without rain in Sanford Stadium this past year, could have hung 60 on Tennessee. It could have named the score. And Tennessee fans don't want to hear that because I read VolQuest, okay? I like Brent Hubbs and Austin Price and those dudes. They're good dudes. And I like reading their board because I like reading the information they put out because they kind of give you some reflections as to, kind of how you can view what you're talking about, right? I see their fans, they're like, well, Georgia only won, what was it, 27-13?
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus Christ, man. I don't know what to tell those Tennessee fans. It could have been 97-13. I mean, Georgia did not have to let off. Georgia they toyed with you. They were that Maine Coon cat that's just sort of swiping at the little ping pong ball on the string. I mean, it was bad, and they don't seem to realize that. So I don't know. Maybe they're the ones.
They're all watching the basketball game right now, and that's what they're going to have to talk about.
They're saying just like baseball. Right. I mean, they're not saying anything about football because Georgia could have wishboned them this year. I mean, they could just grab one leg, grab the other one, split them wide open, and have at it, but they didn't.